Okay, now here I'm trying stencils, just using the fine point blade, which I was surprised. I thought I would need the deeper one. Uh, I did one using, just the regular transparency sheets that you would use in a photocopier, and made my own template, and there you have it. Okay, let's see how it goes with picking this stencil. I know it's hard to see. All right, we're getting there now. Because what I wanted to do was do the opposite of how I did this one. This one, the white, the paint got painted in these areas, but this time I want to do the reverse and paint on the parts that are black there. But it's also hard to know which ones to pull. So I think I need to do this one right here and leave this behind. It's not the easiest working with this stuff, but it still works. It's not going to be what I wanted it for. I wanted to be able to make a whole bunch of these to give like one to each student. But this would require a lot of my time. My idea was I wanted to print off some stencils so that we could put them on the rattles and then paint a design on the rattle. It's kind of a rounded surface, so I was been testing these out for that reason. However, you can do something really easy like this, and that's probably what I might end up doing because it's only pulling this one section out, so very easy to do. But I was just trying to do these more intricate patterns to see how it works, but it's really more of a, home use thing where you would just make one for yourself. But to use this in bulk would be hard. Maybe with adults so that you could give them theirs and then they do the picking of all the little pieces, but without them having experience on it at all, it would probably be hard for them to do, and of course not having all these tools either, so which would be expensive to do. Now I lost my little piece there. I'll get it back in that place somehow once I look and see where it's supposed to go. It's supposed to be there, but there is a lot of little pieces on here, so when I transfer this over to wherever I need to transfer it, I'm probably going to lose some of the pieces, which is what happened. You'll see later that some of the pieces get lost, and then I had to hand paint some of the image later. There's one more piece here I have to come out, and the only reason I can know is because I'm looking at this one and I'm trying to do the opposite of what I did on that one. Don't take the whole ear off, please. Okay, there. Got one piece of it, I think. Yeah, but I'm not sure if it took something that wasn't supposed to come off. there we go. Okay, so now I can try using this. This will just probably be for myself. Definitely wouldn't do this one for the students. I'm gonna have to stick with something more easy like this one. Okay, so just kind of wanted to demonstrate though how long it takes to do one. I actually did this one too, and I never finished picking it because I was like, okay, it's gonna take me a while, because I thought this one looked like it would be easier, but then I realized that there's all these little pieces in here that still need to come out because it forms like a flower, and it's gonna take me a while, and I don't even know how I'm gonna do it without taking the flower part with it. So doing it, it's amazing to me though that it can do these fine little cuts. So it's great in that regard, how well it cuts using the fine point blade and the Cricut stencil material. But like I said, it is very time consuming to do the picking, because I just find it really hard to see what, you know, where I'm supposed to be picking. And I think I'm just going to stop here now because it's going to take way too long to show you what this one will look like. Okay, here I have applied a vinyl stencil, and I'm just going to paint on here some black and try it out, see how this works. This was using the Cricut maker. I made the label, and now I'm going to paint on the rattle. Alright, I just covered this over, and when it dries I'll peel off the stencil and see what it looks like. Okay, I hope this is dry enough and it didn't bleed over the side of the design. So I'm going to try peeling this off now. Oh, darn it, it did bleed through. Darn. Okay, so it looks better like this. Maybe I should just put that back on. Okay, this is going to be my second attempt. This time I printed the stencil off with this Oracal 813 stencil film. Although it feels a little better, it did not work well at all. One of the stencils I made completely failed, and all of the backing material stuck to my mat because I forgot to put transfer tape down, but I wasn't expecting that because I expected the backing itself to be peel offable. So I'm going to have to spend a bit of time peeling off all the paper that's left behind there. Anyways, I'm going to paint this black now and see if this one bleeds through. Okay, so I peeled it off. It doesn't look too bad. You just have to make sure that when you're painting it on, like when I did this circle, that I only go one direction all the way around the circle. I don't go back and forth because then you'll get like not as straight of a line. But there is some areas that this particular stencil, which was this, was missing a lot of detail. Like this one here I had printed out with the stencil material, and I liked it a lot better, but there's some details in here that just, you know, didn't work properly on the other one. What I like about stencil material is it has this nice backing, which is like plastic on the bottom, on the back, so when you peel it off your mat, everything's good. The other one completely stuck to the back of my mat, so I should have put transfer tape down first, but I just wasn't thinking. But also this the reason why I bought this stuff is I wanted to actually make reusable stencils. And this one, once you put it on, as soon as you pull it off, it's useless. Like, it's like here's the leftover. You peel it off and it's like completely useless after. So you can't use it again. But this is the one that I had done stencil material, and I still have it. Like, I already painted on my thing and it's still here, so I could technically reuse this one again. The only thing is I just didn't like this particular design that I made, because when I painted it on here I ended up washing it off, because maybe I didn't have it stuck down enough and it bled, and this one bled through. But don't forget, this rattle is kind of like a rounded surface, so it's more difficult to do, you know, when you have to fold it over. So that could be why. But I definitely know this would be better for other things, especially if I'm doing a flat surface. This will be much better than this Oracal stuff. And like I said, the Oracal stuff appears to be a one-time use. So like I barely even got it out of the machine. Like the first, I had actually made 2 stencils on here. This one, when I peeled it off, it was already wrecked. I couldn't even use it once. That's probably actually what this is right here. And then the second one I used on here and it was okay, but like I said, it's missing pieces. But anyways, just so you guys know, if you're wanting to have reusable stencils, this one's better. It's still quite thin, so you might not get too many uses out of it, but you can. And of course, I'm making very small, intricate design here, so if you were making bigger stencils, it would probably be just fine. My transparency one that I made, you can't see it. You can kind of see it. Kind of. Not really. Transparency one's good, except of course that it doesn't have any stick to it on the back. So you would have to tape it down really well. And what I liked about the other stuff is that it sticks, so that there's less chance of it bleeding, your paint bleeding under. So anyways, that's my review for you guys. I hope it helps some of you guys, because I'm doing a lot of testing here because I only have the machine from work for a few days. So I'm kind of like doing a whole bunch of testing to see what works best. And then we'll be coming up with craft ideas for student crafts and such. And I want to do something that will be easy, especially if I'm going to be replicating them many times. So my purpose right now is to try a bunch of things and see what I like the best. So I might as well pass it on to everybody else.